we got to go to a real life anime McDonald's. I know that sounds like a little bit of a paradigm, but WcDonalds is a thing. That's the McDonald's new collaboration with, actually, I believe it's Studio Puro that they're making these animated shorts with. And I don't know how it happened. Shout out to our contact, Jason, the greatest guy we've ever met. He invited us to come out to a press/influencer preview of a real life McDonald's building in West Hollywood. I had no idea what this event was going to be. I just knew it was going to be an immersive dining experience is how it was pitched to me. And I could not be more interested. It was actually our first event that we've ever been invited to ever. We got there about 30 minutes early. That's when we first see the grand McDonald's building. We could actually see it. The McDonald's building was actually on the corner. So we got there immediately and it's all decked out. They've taken over this building as well as the parking lot adjacent to it. And they have a couple of different stages set up. There's the registration table right when you come up, but we got there so early they weren't quite ready for us. That's when we got to explore, use the porta potties, big experience of these events. We got to get our merch early. So they actually give us swag bag, official McDonald's swag. Super, super cool. It's got shirts, a sweatshirt in here, all McDonald's themed, which is amazing. I like one of a kind stuff that I would never ever imagine getting, which awesome. And then they had a bunch of photo opportunities, everything manga art over the wall. The whole building was covered in McDonald's manga art, or sorry, McDonald's. We're at McDonald's. We're gonna call it McDonald's. Then we waited, actually not that long. The event was supposed to start at 12:30, so we kind of hung around. Everybody started coming in, and the registration booth when we got there, like I said, wasn't open originally. Then eventually we started seeing people actually go up and signing and make sure they were good to go. So we went into the registration booth, and I had before, was talking with a contact, let him know, like, yeah, Jose and I will both be there. He's like, you and a guest, no problem. Like, cool. Went up, and I was like, hey, like, we're checking in, and what's your name? I'm like, oh, my name's Sam. So she's looking through. And they have pictures of us all, of everybody who's coming in. So they know what you look like. It says, like, where you're from, like the Weebs Guild channel. Sam, if you're bringing a guest, what's your role? So I was his host. Jose was co-host. And they're going through. And the fucking picture, I spoke to Jason. We actually met our contact there on site. And that's how I know he's a super nice guy. He picked the picture. If you've ever seen any of our Bleach Brave Souls content, it is the PNG I made probably 3 years ago. It's got to be at least 3 years ago. That is of me, fully shaved bald head. I've got this fucking bright red, I think it's an InuYasha collared shirt on, and I'm going like this. And so the poor girl's like flipping through, and she's like, she can't find me. It's really weird. And I'm like watching her. I'm looking at them. I'm fucking nosy, so I'm looking at all the pictures that go in there. I'm like, oh, cool. Immediately spot myself, top of the page, me going. I'm like, that's me. I just pointed out to her. I'm like, hey, that's me right there. And she's like, oh, okay, Sam, yeah. And then she's like, oh, okay, and then you brought a guest with you? I was like, no. And I'm looking at the page. I see Jose's full picture right underneath me as well. Of course, sunglasses, good to go. I'm like, that's him. That's Jose. And she's like, oh, cool. Both of you are here, like both the hosts. And I'm like, man, I'm not used to this sort of treatment. I'm not used to being referred to as a host. I'm not used to being referred. Normally, I'm a lurker at these events. I am not invited to these events. I'm just there to, witness from the outside, Anime Expo, any conventions like that. I'm incognito. Normally we don't get the star-studded treatment. And she's like, oh, very nice. And they immediately, when you check in, they have trays with iced coffee, McDonald's iced coffee. Like, you want an iced coffee? It's like, I don't drink coffee. And Jose is cracked out already. He's like, no, we're good. And we can see people also walking around with like trays of McFlurries that they're handing out. It's like, oh shit, this is really cool. I'm like, yeah, just take a couple minutes, like, wait around, and then we'll get to you and we'll get you in there. And like, no idea what this event is. So the only thing they've told us like ahead of time is like, hey, no flash photography for the event because, they're just going to be using projections. And I did have a little bit of inkling. My father, he knew of this place. I think it was in New Orleans. I might be getting that wrong. It's called Le Petit Chef. And they kind of done this projection based stuff before where you go out and eat and they project this little show almost on like your table as you're waiting. You'll see them like growing onions. They'll be doing farming. They'll be doing something like that. So kind of was thinking it was going to be something like that. And so we get in line and they start telling us like, hey, everybody heads up, just so you're aware, it is going to be tables of 6 people. So make sure, if you guys want to start kind of grouping together, of course, everybody start counting like 1, 2, 3. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah, we're work out perfectly. No problem at all. And so we go in, but the moment we walk in, you can immediately see all of the projections, the whole walls. I was thinking it's going to be, like a restaurant that was already set up physical and the tables were going to be projected on. But the walls all have projections on them. The tables have projections on them. There's a little box right in the center table also has this projection on it. Everything is like a projection. Even like when you look out to the side, they have it projected where it's like, oh, look, there's windows there. It's just a video running through the outside of like cars going by on the street. The exact street that we're at is like, okay, all right. I see your game, McDonald's, like super cool. And this is It just looks like a regular McDonald's. They have it projecting, no anime stuff, no WcDonalds. So I'm still following the rule. It's not a WcDonald's yet. But as we're walking in, this rule of like, hey, kind of group up so we make our life easier. Everybody scatters. Everybody's just like classic. I'm gonna take that table. Groups of 2, 1, whatever. Everybody takes their own table, and there's about 8 tables. I don't know if I'm just shooting that off the top of my head. So I'm looking around, it's Jose and I, so we're kind of going to ruin somebody's table because there's like groups of 3. There's groups of, 2, 1. I'm like, we're going to, so I see a group of 3 sitting in the corner. I was like, perfect, we'll just sit there. I'm sure there's somebody that's a oneer and they can come and sit down. So we sit down and we actually got to meet, his name's Roger, but he's from the YouTube channel Roger's Base, which weirdly enough, like sat down, we're talking super nice. And we actually met his parents, both so nice. All 3 of them, incredible people, super, super nice. He does not need my shout out, but check him out. He was nothing but 10 out of 10 experience. We picked the perfect table to enjoy this at. Sat down and I'm like looking at him as we're talking. And he's like, oh, it's like, what's your YouTube channel? Introduce ourselves. We're talking. And he's like, oh, like I do One Piece, it's normally. I'm like, look at him. I'm pretty sure I was at Anime Expo and you hosted a panel. He hosted the One Piece panel. I think it was for the film he hosted. And he's like, yep, that's me. I'm like, no way. Like, what are the odds? We go to Anime Expo. This is a couple years ago. Anime Expo, One Piece panel. He's the host. I'm like, all right. Even then, I was like, okay, cool. And now I'm sitting at a McDonald's holograph anime table with him. I'm like, okay, sure, that's where we're at. We're going to enjoy. Fuck it. So it takes a little bit for everybody to funnel in. They're filling all the tables up. I think that they had 2 of these going at the same time because when we first got there was a line and the people wrapped actually around the building and then they disappeared. So I think, which would be smart, but I don't know, that they have 2 of them going at the same time so they could fit more people and kind of cycle them in and out. But the way they ended the whole thing makes me believe that maybe that's not the case. We're going to get to that. So once we talk, all the projections start to go. They tell us time and time again, like, get ready. And they gave you plenty of warnings, like, please, if you need to use the bathroom, go use it now. Because it's all projections. It's all any sort of light. Like if somebody leaves the room, it's going to ruin it for somebody. It's just going to happen. So like, please use the bathroom. And they go around again. Guys, if you want to use the bathroom, like, please, now's the time to go use it. We're like, nah, we're good. So we're just waiting, doing our thing. And finally, it's like, okay, here we go. And they bring out little sauce packets for everybody, the new sauce that they have. It's like a sweet and sour with some spice to it.
Oh, pretty cool, huh? I know it's tempting, but don't dive in just yet. We don't want to destabilize the connection. And I have a feeling that special McDonald's sauce will come in handy later. All right, everyone's buckled in? You got the safety harness testing over? No? You'll be fine. Probably. Opening the portal now. Hurry! This won't stay stable for long. Hey, over here! You made it! And stylishly so, I might add. That 3rd dimension really brings out your eyes. Welcome to the McDonald's universe.
And we can see over at the counter, like where you would normally order at a McDonald's, there's an anime character. And I think she's some sort of riff off of McFlurry. I don't know if her name's just Flurry. She's walking us through this whole thing. She's like, this sauce is our power. We're going to be traveling around to all these different places. Like, welcome in, like, welcome to McDonald's and everything. The walls are all anime now. The outside are all anime characters. And they start walking you through, like, okay, like, here's what's going on. We're McDonald's. Like, let's travel. And the table that we're sitting at all of a sudden turns into a map. And like, this is the lands all around us. And first we're going to go to Citrus Forest. Everybody put your sauce on Citrus Forest so we can go there. So everybody takes their sauce, puts it on Citrus Forest. And then all of a sudden the whole room changes again. Now we're in a forest with like butterflies flying around. And the table is a river now going through. And they're talking about like, welcome to Citrus Forest, and you walking through like, oh, this is my land. Like, this is so cool. Like, welcome. We're so glad to have you guys. And we see like a lemon floating down. It's like, doesn't that make you guys kind of thirsty? And they bring out Sprites. And then everybody, now I thought in my wildest dreams, which this would be a fucking HR nightmare. In my wildest dreams, I thought like maybe Sprite was going to shoot up from the tray. Like it was going to be like, boom, there's a Sprite for you. But they had people come out of the doors and start serving everybody Sprites, like boom, boom, boom. And they're like, yeah, enjoy. Like, because Sprite, I guess, is a big part of this. I'm surprised it wasn't Coke, but Sprite's the way to go at McDonald's, apparently. After the Citrus Forest, they're like, okay, we're going to go to the next one. It kind of turns into a cyberpunk theme. They're like, all right, now we're going to go to this nice little cyberpunk. And I'm telling Jose, like, hope to God this isn't based off of Edge Runners. We're all going to die. It's all going to be game over, this Edge Runners thing, McDonald's. And they're like looking around, and so each time we go to a new area, there's little games and stuff like that. So I think for the Citrus Forest, there was a racing game that they were doing, and they split the table into 2 teams. So one half of the table was on yellow team, one half of the table was on blue team. Like, you guys are gonna race. These 2 characters, they're anime characters, and they're gonna race to go to McDonald's first.
The race is on. Get your McDonald's sauce ready.
We got it. Yeah.
Here we go.
Are we fighting? We're fighting with our McDonald's sauces? Yeah, I'm like, what is going on? We're Team Blue.
Let's make this more interesting. Place your McDonald's sauce in the highlighted area to activate a power.
Oh, cute.
There you go. Nice.
Block it out. Let's go.
Oh, we're zooming.
You should keep things
Oh, you got it. There we go.
Move your McDonald's sauce to give Hajime a boost.
Oh, right there on your guys'
Let's see, where is it? Let's look. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you gotta keep moving.
Oh, yeah, I see.
You're neck and neck. But
He looks like InuYasha.
there's a McDonald's Shiba Inu in the middle of the road. Place your McDonald's sauce in the highlighted area.
Run him
to
over.
protect-
Oh, nice.
That was quick.
You're flying towards the McDonald's, but I don't think it's open yet. Quick, use your McDonald's sauce to unlock the
Oh,
door.
that's so cute.
Open the door.
Ah, nice. Very good.
Okay, we did it.
And then so they'll show it, and they've actually been posting a lot of the shorts already online in their Twitter and stuff like that. You'll look over and they'll flick on a short where it's like a fully anime short, where it's like, here's like what we just watched, and now you're watching like a full anime version of what you just played on the little table, which was incredible. And each section had a different short that it was related to. So one was like the cyberpunk room, and then they show these people, another short like falling in love and eating their McDonald's and eating their French fries. And then it's like, well, doesn't that look really good? Don't you wish you guys could have some? And then they bring them all out, of course, the McDonald's with the French fries and the nuggets, and they give you extra sauces because you're supposed to keep your sauce. All right, they tell you like, hey, keep one sauce. Like, this is our power to go back and forth. Don't get rid of all your sauces. But hey, for someone like me, I mean, first of all, I'm a sweet and sour sauce only sort of guy. Jose downed the sauces, but he kept the one. But I'm just saying, for someone like me with sauce, like, I'm using 3 sauces per thing, and they bring out 2 and they tell you to keep the one. I would have downed all 3 of them. Like, it would have been game over. So they're like, all right, yeah, like, enjoy. So then they kind of leave us a nice cyberpunk. They started playing lo-fi hip hop. And it's like, oh, damn, okay, cool. And then they give you a little bit. They give us, like, not very long, maybe 5-10 minutes to kind of down it. And they turn up the music and, like, hey, focus on fucking eating. Stop talking. Because everybody's just talking. And so it's an event. And everybody's filming themselves eating and looking around. Really, really cool. After the cyberpunk area, all of a sudden they're like, oh, like, I hope you enjoyed your food. And all of a sudden the power kicks off. And they're like, oh, well, are you guys there? You guys, let me see if I can get you back. And like static starts flicking on, and like, put your sauces like quickly. So we put the sauce on there, and they all of a sudden we're in a spaceship.
How'd you get up there? Let's find a place to set you down. No, not there! Hold on to your McDonald's sauce and light it up. You made it!
Class A, monster alert.
Welcome to my 9-5. Charming, isn't it?
McDonald's 3000 status. Offline.
Offline? The McDonald's 3000 is the only thing standing between Earth and this monster. I wouldn't do this if I had any other options. But I'm going to need your help.
You already got it. Good.
Oh, cool.
Initiate pilot training protocol.
Plug your McDonald's sauce into the thrusters. They're highlighted on your command center. Those folks are headed straight forward. Quick, move your McDonald's sauce to the shields.
Yeah, right.
really, really cool. At one point also they have a little stopping point. I think it was while we were eating. They have you like put in your, they scan a QR code. A QR code appears on the table. Like scan the QR code and you scan it and then you basically put in what sign you are. So like Pisces, Aries, and they tell you which of the McDonald's characters you are. So it's funny. Everybody was showing their McDonald's characters like, oh, like I got Flurry. I got Carmen, like one of the other ones. I got the fucking robot. I got the mech. The Aries is a mech. It's like, oh, congrats, you got the mech. It's like I'm the only non-living. Like everybody else is a McDonald's character, and I'm a mech. Which, hey, that's a W. That's a W. So then we eventually defeat the monster, and they're like, oh, all right, let's try and go back.
That's what I have to do for now. Wait here while I figure out a way to get you back. Are you still there? Okay, I think we have enough juice for one last go at this. Let's get you back to Earth. Does this look familiar to you? Where are we?
And then we end up in this weird like floating island area. It's like we got to make an offering to this guy that's like all knowledgeable and he'll help us get out. And so we put the sauces, little hand comes up on the table and we put the sauces in the hand. When you give the guy the sauces, they also give you a fortune. So you give him the sauces, then all of a sudden on your tray it projects a fortune. So one of them was the greatest flavor is a memory, or something along the lines of that. It's all McDonald's puns, which you know about what you expect. And then we eventually teleport back to McDonald's. And he's like, oh, but he's left you with a treat, the McFlurry. And even the girl's like, wait, isn't it supposed to be WcFlurry?
That should have been fixed. Wait a minute. The McFlurry. It should be a W, not an M. Is this from your world? I don't think the connection can handle the discrepancy. I have to send you back to be safe. Kitchen's gifts are meant for your world. I'll have them waiting for you on the other side. It's really breaking down now. I think this is it. Farewell, friends.
We go back to our McDonald's, and then they slide open these doors right at the end, and there's a bunch of people out there with McFlurries good to go to give you McFlurries for your final parting gift. And then like everybody cheers, like thank you, and that's it. And you walk out, it puts you right back on the street in West Hollywood, and you go out, and they had posters. They have full-scale posters. I have one right here. So here's our McDonald's poster, which is super, super cool. I just like how like unique it is. And now it's like, hey, where did you get that? Like, oh, we went to a McDonald's, like a McDonald's event, like the craziest thing ever. And the projections were so well done. Now, I do gotta say on the food came out fresh. The nuggets were burning hot. The sauce, now I'm not gonna lie. Okay, now don't shoot the messenger. All right, don't shoot the messenger. I didn't try the sauce. I'm a sweet and sour sauce Puritan. Okay, so I smelled the sauce. I was like, that's not for me. I gave my sauce to Jose. Now, I did come home with one sauce, just so I could show you guys what the sauce is. Let's take a look at the merch now. So you've already seen the bag. We've been there. Now, here is the fabled McDonald's sauce. I'm going to keep it as a souvenir forever. Not one day, maybe I'll be starving in the wastelands and I'll lick the sauce right up. But there's the McDonald's sauce. Beautiful with the W upside down. Now let's go in and see what goodies we get inside the swag bag here, which it's so cool. They showed some of the shirts. It's awesome. So cool. So let's go with the first one. It's a McDonald's Sprite t-shirt, classic, just white on the front. And then on the back, one of the McDonald's characters with the eye patch. You know the characters with eye patches in every anime are the ones that you want to be, okay? Look how cool. He looks like he's powered by like a Sprite demon. He's Danny Phantom of the Sprite world. Look at him. This one's really cool. This is so red. McDonald's, the manga. How cool. So cool. Nothing on the back of this one. Sometimes that's classic. That's all you need. And I feel like, they can't give you the red. Like, it would be cool to get like a McDonald's employee shirt, but I get that that's probably an employee thing, and that would be an issue with people running around. Here's the last thing I've got. It's the sweatshirt here. Oh, this is big. This is nice. Okay, all right, here we go. I'm building up the suspense. All right, on the front, some characters. Japanese lettering looks classic. You wouldn't even know what it was. But on the back, McDonald's, baby. McDonald's. Are we surprised? I mean, but it's a full hoodie. Look at this thing. This is nice. Super, super nice. I mean, hey, I got to go to an event. I got to eat chicken nuggets for free, French fries, a McFlurry, Sprite, and I got a sweatshirt with McDonald's, a tote bag, 2 shirts. Greatest thing ever. Greatest thing ever. That's all I could ask for. And there was no waiting in line. It was super quick, super intuitive. We got in, we got out, we did our thing. So good. We get a lot of spam emails for like, hey, Weebs Guild, we think you would be perfect for this project. And it's like a cooking utensil. And it's like, okay, I don't know what this is. But this email we got addressed to Sam and Jose. And I was like, okay, that's got to be somebody's done a little bit of research here. And it was just so much fun. Jose and I had such a good time going. Roger and his parents, incredible people. They just made the experience so much more fun. It was such a good time just talking the anime, talking YouTube and stuff like that. And then we got to speak to Jason afterwards when we got out there, and he was talking to us about, you know, I was trying to see how he found us, but he's like, I got my circles. He's being a sneaky guy. And then Jose used the bathroom really quick, and then we bounced. They are going to open this to the public. So they said that the first they have a week, I think, where they're doing influencer and media, and then they're going to open it up on Open Table where you can get a reservation. Now, I don't know if that's like you still get the merch, you still get the free, I assume the food's free through Open Table. I don't know if they're going to make you pay for it, but you can experience the McDonald's if you're in the LA area. I believe it's next week. They're going to start opening up reservations on Open Table, and you can experience McDonald's for yourself as well. So thank you guys for watching. Not sponsored, by the way, but they did invite us out to go. They didn't ask us to record any video. They didn't ask us to make any content for it, but we've never been to something like that before, and it was such a treat to actually be invited into. It was such a good time, and it was so cool the way that they did it with all the projections. Experience of a lifetime. It was nice. It was awesome. We had a great time. I know Jose loved it. I personally loved it. So thank you to McDonald's for inviting us out. We do appreciate it. And if you guys have any questions, I know me as like a nosy person also has questions on how these events work, how you get invited, what's it like when you get there. Feel free to leave them in the comments down below. I'll answer as many as possible. I like to share the information with people, of course, to an extent. I can't share, confidential information or anything like that. But go ahead and give me a shot. Ask. And if you guys like the video, please subscribe, like it. It helps us out a lot. And we hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as we did.